this video, I'm going to explain how I wrote my cover letter to get apprenticeship offers from companies such as JLR and Bentley. And then I'm going to give you 5 bonus tips on how I managed to get ahead of the rest of the competition. So here's the structure of a cover letter that you want to do. Interest, introduction about yourself, company research, work experience, highlight a few extra skills, and then summary. So let me go through that step by step. So the first one is interest, and this is literally a sentence you can copy and paste, and that is, I'm writing to apply for da 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 da. Simple as that. Next one's introduction about yourself. This is where you say who you are. So I'm an A-level student. I am currently in this career and I want to change to this career. I'm a year 12 student. That sort of thing. And then here's where you can also add in an extracurricular or a course responsibility. Just because you have the space, you might as well throw it in. So you could say something like, I'm an A-level student who got gold in the Maths Olympiad last year or something. It's just, you might as well throw in one really good fact about you there that gets the ball rolling. So the next one is research, and this is where you need to know the values, the goal, the mission of the company, and you really need to dig in deep to find those, and then so that you can communicate that. And what's the reason for research? Because a lot of people say you need to research the company, blah blah blah, but what does it actually mean? Well, the reason is the company want people who align with their goals. So if you can research the company, find out their values, find out their goals, say that your values align with theirs, say that your goals align with theirs, then they know you're going to be a match for the sort of company that they are. And then the second part of it is also they know you're hardworking and dedicated, and rather than just copy and paste an application, you spent the extra time in to research the company and personalize the cover letter. The sentences you can use is, I know that, and then the company has this value or has this goal. Or you can say, your commitment to blah, blah, blah is an important goal. I read about this, and then put in a news story. Those sort of sentences is what you can do in this research paragraph to show that you align with their goals. And then also, another way you can link to research is how an experience relates. For example, one company I was applying for, they'd done a lot of work on the Midland Metro. So in my research paragraph, I talked about the Midland Metro and linked it back to how I had done a presentation in school about the Midland Metro. So there's the 2 ways there that you want to focus in the research thing. You want to show how your goals and values align with their goals and values, and also you could show how an experience you've done matches an experience they've had. For example, with me, I'd researched the Midland Metro and done a presentation on it, and they were one of the companies who were part of constructing the Midland Metro. Now the next paragraph is the work experience, and if you have a major in-person work experience, this is where you talk all about it in this paragraph. And this is where you list down all the activities you did, linking them back to the job description, saying the responsibilities you had, and hopefully they match the job description with the qualities they want from an apprentice, with the roles they want an apprentice to be doing. Because if you can say in this work experience section that you've already done the roles that an apprentice will do, that makes you much more valuable to that company, because you already have experience doing what an apprentice does, so they know you're going to be half decent at it. But if you don't have work experience, first of all, get some, and I'll link my full work experience guide up there. But if not, then you can use this section to highlight other things such as courses, extracurricular responsibilities, activities. So it's not the end of the world if you don't have it, and you can just use that for other stuff. So now the next paragraph is for highlighting a few extra skills. Now in this section, if you just copy the things you put in your CV and put them in here, you've missed the trick. The whole point is your cover letter, you want to put new things in. Because if you've got 10 things in your CV, 10 new things in your cover letter, the person reviewing your application then has 20 qualities and activities they can assess you on. Because if you just duplicate it, then there's just 10. So with that 20, you're much more attractive to the employer. So basically, you want to get into this section anything you weren't able to include in your CV. So that could be DOV, that could be courses, that could be music exams, sports team, just any of those sort of qualities, activities, something that shows you'll be good for the job that you didn't get in your CV. Now the final paragraph is the summary. And this is where you just express your interest again. Potentially you could drop in a bit more research just because that's a tick box, that will really help. And you want to keep this very personal, saying how it'll help you and develop you. to show that you really mean that you want this degree apprenticeship. So that's how you structure a cover letter. Now at this point, 90% of people are going to click off and go write their cover letters because they know how to structure it. However, I would strongly recommend, if you want the best chance of getting an interview and getting a degree apprenticeship position, you stay and listen to these last 5 tips, because these are ones that not many people will include but can really make you stand out from the crowd. And these are to do with presentation, which is why not many people think of these. They just think of, oh, here's the structure, write my cover letter, there we are, done. But if you present it in the right manner, then it can make yours look much better than everyone else. It makes it look much more professional and will improve your chances. So the first thing is something you have to do before you even start, and 99.9% of applicants won't do this. So if you're the one person to do this, it will really stand out. And that is, you want to write it properly like a letter. Maybe in primary school they taught you how to write letters, but probably haven't had anything like that recently. So let me just remind you, writing it properly like a letter, it means putting your postal address in the top right before you start the letter. So put that in the top right, and then also put the date that you're submitting it as well. And this just makes it look formal and it looks professional. The next thing is a professional address. So you start it with "Dear Sir/Madam." That's how you want to start it. It's professional. Or in some cases, you might know the name of the hiring manager, in which case you can put "Dear" and then their name. However, often with apprenticeships, you don't know the hiring manager. It's a whole early careers team that goes through these applications. So usually you'll just have to put a generic "Dear Sir/Madam." The next one is a title, and you want to put a title just below the "Dear Sir/Madam." So you want to do one line, bold, neat, tidy and professional, and you want to use the exact words from the job description. So if that says DTS apprentice, you put 2023 DTS apprentice application. If instead it's apprentice DTS student, then you put 2023 apprentice DTS student application. So you want to just put the exact words that they used in the job description. And with that, you put the company title and year. So as I was saying, 2023 or 2024 for this year, you put that 2024 DTS apprentice application company name. And that just shows, again, you've gone to the extra effort to personalize. It shows that you can put effort into things. You don't just leave things not done properly. You go through every step. So again, it just improves how the early careers team are going to look at you as they read through your application. Now, we're going to go down to the bottom and look at how we want to close this cover letter, because if it's the last thing they look at, usually it might be the thing that sticks in their head. So if you don't close it professionally and correctly, that might resonate in their head when they come to thinking about whether they want to accept or reject your application. So you want to sign off with something like, "I look forward to hearing from you, yours faithfully," and then your name. And now, even finishing it like that will be really good and will be better than a lot of people. However, this is next tier stuff. This is next level, even higher than that. And that is, if you have an iPad, something like that, if you draw a signature on your iPad and then copy and paste it into the Word document where you're writing the cover letter and put that above your name, that is next level professionalism. And in the whole cohort, there'll be 1, 2, 3 people who would do this. So it really stands out. I don't have an iPad, so I just borrowed from some friends, said, "Can I use your iPad?" Drew the stylus and then emailed over the document, copy and pasted the image, put it in the Word document. It looks extremely professional. So if that's something you're able to do, that is top tier stuff. Now, this is the final tip. How do you submit your cover letter to the employer or to the apprenticeship website, or wherever it is? You don't want to just submit it as coverletter.pdf or JLR cover letter PDF or cover letter 3 PDF or my cover letter 4 PDF. You want to submit it, again, professionally. You're seeing a theme through all these 5 tips. It's all about being professional and getting that first impression right when you have a really nice professional looking cover letter. And so you basically want to format it as your name cover letter, because that looks very professional and is also helpful for them rather than, because they might not necessarily have to rename it if you've already got your name in there, and it's just helpful. As if you submit my cover letter, they then have to go to the trouble of renaming it with your name and all that. So if you've sort of got halfway there already for them, it's really helpful. And again, it just looks professional. Just remember to format it with that title, first name dash last name dash cover dash letter, and that's the best way to do it. So if you stuck around to the end of the video, I just want to say well done, because most people would have clicked off after I started going through these presentation tips because they probably thought it wasn't important. But now you're going to go into this application being one of the most professional applicants there. So I'm going to put in the description a template for a cover letter, free template for a cover letter, and hopefully that will really help you when you're writing your own cover letter. And it'll also show you how this presentation looks like on paper. Now, I hope this video has helped, and I hope you're able to write a brilliant cover letter from the tips in this video. Probably next might be writing a CV. So if you want to do that, check out this video where I explain how to write a CV in detail.